Greetings, my great viewers. I'm so happy to be able to bring today's lesson on financial literacy for kids or for our offsprings. Yes, teaching kids anything, not only about financial literacy or money, requires a lot of effort. It requires a lot of patience from the person now teaching or impacting this knowledge. And the cool thing is that it gives you a lot of the outcome that comes when you teach or you make your kids learn this thing early enough. The outcome is so great, it cannot be ignored. Yes, and I welcome you to today's episode. And thank you for always listening. Thank you for always liking. Thank you for always sharing. And for always inviting your friend to subscribe. Yes, keep inviting them so that we get to learn together. And not only learning together, that you're able now to be able to progress together. Yes, so today emphasis is teaching kids on how to handle cash, or how to make money, on how they can protect it, and then how they can grow it. Yes, as I've highlighted, kids learn by observing, by listening, by exploring, by experimenting, and they ask questions. They get interested, and once they do this, they get motivated and they get engaged in. Unlike us, the adult who learn only what is interests us, kids can get interested in anything. And once they're interested enough and they're motivated and they can get engaged, they have no doubt but just to learn. So while we are teaching, or when kids are being taught on how to handle their finances, make sure that they learn this by observing. Take time to make them listen. They'll explore a lot, they'll experiment. And once they ask questions, answer them the questions as it's supposed to be so that they get the right answers from the beginning. And kids really learn very fast. Yes. So are some of the things or some of the challenges kids face in terms of learning financial literacy or anything else. One of the first thing and the greatest them all is the parental influence. The parents are the first people to teach any kid. As soon as the baby is new and newborn and has no ideas or anything, the parents are the one who put the first ideas to the kid. So if the parent is not very well equipped, they will transfer the same not so well equipped lessons to the kids. So parental influence is very key, and most of the kids get to learn faster from parents. And so it's always good that as a parent that we get to educate ourselves so that whatever we pass down to our kids is well educated. Then kids usually have very short concentration span. Unlike adults who can sit for hours on end listening to a person, kids' concentration span is very short. So we have to make the lessons quite interesting, and it's short. You have to make them very short and interesting for them to be interested in and run through. Then there's the gender discrimination in that when these kids are growing up, you realize that some parents will teach men about money. They will even take time to teach men about money. And they will tell them on the virtues of working hard. They will tell them that they're supposed to work harder, than the girls. On the other side, the girls might not be taught about money and they'll be taught other things. And now, as they grow up, the men might be more inclined to be better financial managers than the kids. So while they are young, let's try and not discriminate and teach them equally. Then on the social interactions, the kids might not have a lot of choice on who they interact with. They might interact with the kids on who the parents have authorized, or those kids that are within the estate. And within those interactions, that's where the kid will learn the lessons. So if they are quality interactions, the kid might learn quality lessons for their financial literacy. If they're not quality, the kid will still learn those things that are not quality. Then in the current environment, There's a lot from on the social media, on the internet, and everywhere. There's information everywhere. And kids, especially those ones that are able to go to YouTube and those that are able to know to go to other social media platforms, they get a lot of sometimes very distorted information and they don't get to learn the right things. So apart from these challenges, I would love to hear what other challenges do you think children or kids face when they're trying to learn in the comment section. At time as a parent, you may ask yourself, when do we start teaching these things? Why? Because when the kids are young, most of the time they don't want to learn. Okay, not that they don't want to learn anything, but few things will interest or few solid things that you can teach kids. And most of the time they'll be saying no, they'll be saying no, they'll be saying no, no. They will not be looking at it like the lessons that they need for life. Yes, as a parent or as a guardian, you're the one who need to make these things interesting for these kids. Otherwise, kids really don't care about what really happens. Just like Jesus said, bring the young ones to me. Yes, kids are like that. That is none of their problem. So it's us as a parent to teach them the right ways, and when they grow old, they're not going to depart from it. Yeah, what you may ask, yes, from year three, any kid is able to learn anything. And what we need to do is from that year three, let's keep involving them at all ages. At every age, let's keep teaching these kids, the lessons that they need to learn. The lessons will have an impact. And the earlier we start, the better. At age three, a kid will understand money. As they progress, if you keep teaching them about how to manage the money or how to manage whatever they have and the other resources, they'll be able to run faster. So the kids will learn basic schooling, that is reading, writing, and arithmetics. But there is no teacher who will teach them about money. Actually, the topic of financial literacy and abundance is not taught in any school. So the kid will learn all these other things. They will read, they will learn how to write, they will learn how to do arithmetics, but no one will teach them about the virtues and the ways and what will make them achieve abundance. So as you teach your kids from that age three, teach them from an objective reality. Teach them from a reality. Teach them how to spend what they have, little as it is or much as it is. Teach them how to give. Teach them the virtue of desiring to give more than desiring to give. You teach them early enough that the more you give, the more you get. Even the Bible is very keen on the giving. Yes, and you should desire more to be a giver, not a receiver. Then also teach your kids early enough on the saving. Yes, when the kid or learn how to save from a young age, even as they grow old, they will learn how to save. And as they progress, once they are able to save, they will be able to learn very quickly on how to invest and grow their savings. Yes, teach them from an objective point of reality. Then, as you teach them, as we agreed, kids learn from day to day activities and they love being involved, they love participating, they love to experience. So, for you to get the best outcome, teach them how to do these activities. Teach them the value versus money. Teach them the value of things, not how they are getting a lot of money. And use day-to-day activities to teach them. Use the going to shop as a way to teach them. When you're going to buy for them clothes, teach them. When you're taking them to school, teach them. When they're farming in the farm, as they plant and as they sow, teach them. As they eat, try and show them value of everything. Show them even how to value their time, even as young as they are. Yes, and while at it, please have fun. Have fun as you do this, and they will be able to internalize those lessons quickly and more permanent. Don't teach them until you sit them down and you start, scolding them. Teach them as they have fun. Teach one lesson. Teach the lesson of gratitude. Let them play. Let them come back. Teach them the golden rules. Let them play. Teach them the next day. Like that. Teach them how to give. Teach them how to save. Teach them how to invest. And also teach them how to share. And you'll see that as you have fun, and they'll be able to get those lessons. Yes, as a parent or as a guardian, there's some practical actions that we can take as we teach our kids. Yeah, me, I was taught that money does not come from tree, and somehow it used to be repeated until one day I wondered, hey, if money doesn't come from tree and everything else seems to be coming from tree, then this money must be very unique. But then as you grow older, you realize it's not all about, doing from tree or whatever. Yeah, so it is our assignment that we are able to teach the right lessons. As we teach, let's teach them where money comes from. And money comes from work. It's the reward for your work that you get money and you get that reward. And that way, when you keep duplicating doing work, getting paid, getting a reward for your work, you're able to work more and more motivated to do a better job and excel in what you're doing. And as you excel in it, you'll be more happier and you're getting more reward. When you teach your kids early enough like that, they're not going to depart from it and they'll not, develop dependency attitude and they'll not develop, that sense of entitlement, such that even when one has not worked, they expect to be paid. Also, teach your kids how to be contented. Contented in that whatever they have, in as much as they can dream bigger, they expect more, that they need to be more grateful of what they have and they be contented of what they have. Even if their neighbors seem to be enjoying what they have more, teach them how to be contented with what they have as they work on what they can get. Also, show them and teach them opportunity costs. Show them that sometimes you can forego one opportunity to get to another one. And that way they will learn to differentiate and value some things more than the other. The things and the value things that matters more to them. Also show them that stuff costs money. At times, kids might just ask anything. A kid will not find it difficult to tell the mother, that, Mom, you're going to shop, please bring me. They will give a whole list of things. What they might not understand is that this stuff costs money. And a kid is a kid. They would expect you to deliver. If you go to the supermarket with kids, some don't even know what to negotiate with. They want to pick everything on the shelf. Yes, let's keep teaching our kids that stuff costs money, and for you to be able to get that stuff, you need to pay the costs and you need to have the money. You need to have whatever now value for the money for you to get those stuff. Then let's also teach them budget preparation. Let's show our kids on how they can be planning for their money before they get it. Otherwise, the kids will also be getting surprised. Where did the money that maybe I received as a gift or the money that I earned go to? Yes, they can learn to do some simple budgets. They can learn how to see where they're getting money, how they're using the money, so that they're able also to allocate the ones to give, the ones to save, and the one to use. Yes, teach them also the value of delayed gratification. It's not that whatever they want will be delivered instantly. Teach them the value of waiting and having that delayed gratification. Teach them the value of knowing that there's a position of waiting and trusting the process, and that you don't have to get everything instantly. You can work towards getting it. Yes, at this point, teach kids the discipline. Discipline to be able to stick through to deliver whatever is that they have set to do. Discipline to follow through the goals they have been set to do. Discipline to do the right thing. Otherwise, if you don't teach them discipline at this point, they will be able to suffer if you don't teach them discipline and they suffer the pain of learning this discipline, they will learn later and suffer the pain of regret. So you better teach your kids discipline when they are young. And when straighten a tree when it is still young. It's also at this point that you need to teach them self-control. Self-control is what will allow them control, even have control over the emotions, control over what they have, and they will be able to have better control of the resources they have. And this will ensure that they get to get and enjoy abundance. Then finally, kids, you don't tell them, you don't instruct them, you show them by example. So as parents and as guardians, we need to be a good example to these kids. And once we are a good example, you can be sure they will be able to behave better, and they will do it better, even maybe more than you who is showing the example. So let's be a good example. Let's be the shining light to our kids. Yes, what one can do practically is that you can use clear jars to teach them. Yeah, like the ones I had highlighted earlier, you label clear jars that they can open, and they can throw out maybe the money they have, and they're able to see the progress they are making. Use clear jars to teach them the lesson. Show them this is one is for giving, this one is for saving, this one is for using, and any other that you want to teach them. Then there are other games and apps. Check out games and apps. There's so many games and apps. They even put games like for kids that kids can use to learn, and the lessons are able to stick for life. Then allow them to play with other kids and allow them to have quality interactions. If you know opponents who teaches their kids what need to be taught, allow your kids to interact with such kids. Yes, also introduce to them piggy banks. Most banks, if you open an account for kids, a junior account, they will give you a piggy bank, but some will get your kids a piggy bank. Let them start learning how to save for their kids, maybe like save for their birthday and all that. Also, as you teach them, encourage them to make decisions. When they have saved and they have saved the one amount for giving, allow them to make the decision on who to give, and where to give. Yeah, encourage them. They have saved the money. When they're going, they have saved for clothing, and they want to go and allow them to make that decision. Go with them to shop and let them make the decision that this is the dress that I bought and I saved. Then encourage your kids not to be afraid of failing. Unlike in adult, that sometimes you make one financial decision and can cause you life tragedy. Kids still have a lot of opportunity. Allow them to fail, to learn, fail again as many times as possible, as of course you correct them. And the lessons will be able to stick for long. Encourage them not to be afraid. Let them courageously use the money they have saved. Yes, that's what we have for kids. But I can encourage you, the earlier you do it for kids, the better for you. And for that kid, the future adult person they will be grateful that they learned the lessons earlier. Yes, let's keep doing this for our society and for our community. Let's mold our kids now. And as they grow old, the lessons will keep sticking, and they will be better, and they will be a better influence in the future. And we invite you to subscribe if in case up to this point you haven't subscribed. Like, share, and also invite your friend that we continue, growing together. Thank you.